Sup nerds, today we have Anubismon OTK versus Royal Knights. I won the die roll, so I started by hatching, absorbing, and then playing a Mechamon for 4. Mel starts by hatching a Sunamon and evoing into an Ignite-mon. Plays a Proto for 3, draws 1, trashes 1, trashes a Nidhogg and gains a memory. Then plays a Goblimon for 3 to choke me to 1. I absorb another Drazel, swing with a Mechamon, he dies, let's go. Get the triggers on deletion to tuck another Royal Knight. I play All-Force for 4, give him 3, and bounce his Gizmon, just to reset him for a little bit. So he plays it back out, draws 1, trashes 1, goes to 0. Swings a Goblimon, dies. And deletes Proto to play AT for 2, and then triggers his effect to draw 2, trash 2. Trashes an Underworld's Call, so draws 1 from that, and then draws 1 from the Sunamon Inheritable. Then I absorb my last Tama and absorb my All-Force. So basically the game plan here is to keep his regular Digimon from being on the board, to keep his Anubismon off the field. Because his Gizmons can't Digivolve, and the way this deck wins is going into Anubismon and just killing you in one turn. That's why it's called Anubismon OTK. So that's my goal here, is just to ensure that he can't go into Anubismon without passing turn, basically. And then just keeping his Digimon off the field to keep him from building up into a stack. So I play Gallantmon by reducing by his own effect and King Drazels to -11. And I play him, pop 1, and then swing, and then pop the other. And then he triggers his AT on deletion to play an XT and a Tamer. And then I check another Tamer and Security. Feels kind of bad, but he can't Digivolve with his XT, so I'm not super worried about it. And then I just hard pass. I don't want to give him too much memory. So he triggers both of his Tamers to draw 1, trash 1 at the end of turn, and then draws for turn. Hatches and evos into a Fastgomon. This is a cool deck, though. Like, I've considered building it before, the Anubismon deck. He swings for 9k and survives. Pretty rare against Royal Knights. Then plays Wisemon for 6, gives me 3, gives a look at the top 3 cards, adds a purple or black card, and then puts the other 3 on the top of his deck. And I absorb my Gallant beginning my main phase. And now I need to deal with the Wisemon for surezies, because I do not want him to go to Anubismon without passing turn. So I play Omnimon for 4 to pop the Wisemon at choking to 1. So he triggers his Tamers to draw 1, trash 1 at the end of his turn, or end of my turn, I mean. Then draws for turn, promotes. Then he evos into Ogremon for 2 to choke me to 1. Getting a main, my Omni gets absorbed. I'm currently -11 from King Drazel's effect. I play Omnimon to pop his regular Digimon stack again. Like I said, I don't care about the Gizmon line. They're not threatening me because they cannot go into Anubis. Then he triggers all of his Tamers, draw 1, trash 1, then draws for turn. Evos into Fastgo. If you can't tell, I have multiple Omnimons in my hand, that's why I'm doing that. I wouldn't just blow an Omnimon if I didn't have another one in my hand. So he plays Proto for 3, choke me to 1, and then draws 1, trashes 1. My Omni gets absorbed again. So I'm currently -12 by King Drazel's effect. And I don't want to blow my very last Omnimon because I don't have a 4th one in hand. So I'm trying to figure out a way to ensure that he can't kill me on his turn. So I play Lord Nightmon for free, add Magna back to hand, and then hard play Magna for 7 to give him 6. In hindsight, I don't know if there was a better play here, like maybe even hard passing. Because giving him 7 memory, or giving him access to 6 memory, he actually drew and discarded an Nidhogg off of one of his Tamers to gain an extra memory. Like basically guarantees if he has it, he can go into Anubis on his turn. But when he swings, I have a blocker, and he'll also lose 2 memory, or I'll gain 2 memory, I should say, from my Lord Nightmon effect. Which does matter. And he trashes the Underworld's Call and the Wisemon off the Demi-Mirror effect of draw 2, trash 2, and then draws an extra card from Underworlds and an extra card from Suno. So right here, I actually should have lost 2 memory, or I should have gained 2 memory, I should say. But we both missed it, which is funny. It's funny because it's actually the reason why I played Lord Nightmon out, is so I would gain memory when he swung. kind of ironic that I immediately just forgot about it. So he actually shouldn't have had the 2 memory to play the Alice, and then that actually let him evo into his Anubismon for free by popping his other Gizmon with her effect. And then XT effect, he plays 2 Protos, and they both gain Rush because of Anubismon's effect. So he swings, it dies, and then right here, actually Ben was sitting next to us and looked over and reminded us that I should have gained a memory off the Lord Nightmon. So I just gained it off this swing. Not really a way to go back that far, unfortunately. So his guy dies, he floats, gains a memory off of one of his effects, but then I gain 2, so it does choke me to 1. He has a bunch of dudes, but Omnimon is free. Let's go. Pop bottles. Alright, everybody's effects are triggering. So I trigger Lord Nightmon first. I add Omni back to hand. I trigger Alpha, tuck in a Mechamon to keep his 10 cost or higher from attacking. I trigger Ulforce, I strip all the sources from his Anubis and put it back into his hand. I trigger Gallant to pop the AT. Because I know it'll float into the XT, which is a blocker, and I don't want it to block. So I trigger the Gallant first to pop it, and then when he plays out the XT, I get to pop it with Omnimon. He does get to play a Tamer as well, but Omni pops, and then it floats into Proto, but I don't care because that card does not block. I swing with Gallantmon, and I have to trigger his effect, so I go ahead and just pop the Proto, whatever, I don't really care, because it's not going to float into a blocker. So he floats into AT, he draws 2, trashes 2. Check the 4th Tamer. Swing with Magna. Dies, and I get to draw a card. Swing with Alpha, and swing for game. So I do take game 1. Thankfully, Ben looked over and saw that I had a Lord Nightmon on the field and asked if the effect was triggered. Otherwise, Mel definitely would have OTK'd me there on that turn, because he just would have kept floating into Gizmons with their own deletion effects and attacking my security, because I would have gained Rush from the Anubismon effect. So Mel chooses to go first. Starts off by hatching a Sunamon, deletes it to play Protomon for 1, draws 1, trashes 1. Then I hatch, absorb my top King Drazel. Then I play Dynasmon for 5, search my top 4, add Magna and Kentorosmon, or not Kentorosmon, Leopardmon. Mel hatches and plays Scatter Mode for 4 to go to 0, and then plays his Tamer for 3. Beginning of main, I absorb another Drazel and absorb a Dynasmon. So I play Magnamon for free, and then play Purge to draw 1, tuck 1. And then I gain 2 memory back, so I'll actually choke him to 1 here, which is pretty cool, and I tuck a Jesmon GX. So he draws 1, trashes 1 off of his Tamer, and then draws for turn. Swings with Scatter Mode. I'm shocked that it died. LOL. Pretty hard to have jamming versus the Royal Knight deck. So he draws 3 and then trashes 2 off the on deletion and draws discards a Nidhogg and an Eismon to play the Eismon for free and gain a memory off Nidhogg. Evos into Gabumon and then Evos into Blue Marimon. Draw 2, trash 2 from his effect. Trashes a Nidhogg to gain another memory to go back to 0. He swings with Proto, and I ask if the on deletion is live before I block, and so I block it since he doesn't get any value out of it. And then he evos into Anubis, plays back Proto, gains memory from the Nidhogg discard, and gains memory from the Blue Marimon inheritable to choke me to 1. So now he's exposed his Anubismon for removal. I just need to remove it to ensure I don't just randomly die on his turn. I purge out my Dynasmon, and then I play Omnimon for 5. Omni pops the Anubis, and Dynus pops the Proto, since it pops all level 4 or lowers. Then it puts him to 4. He draws 1, trashes 1 from his Tamer, and draws for turn, promotes the Gabumon. Evos into Scatter for 2. And swing security, does die, shocked. Draws 3, trashes 2 from the effect. Trashes two cards that do nothing, thankfully. Then plays a Gabumon for 3 to choke me to 1. Beginning of main, my Dynus and Omni get absorbed by Drazel. I'm currently minus 11 by King Drazel's effect. My goal is to just get that Gabumon off the field and also put a Digimon on the field to get absorbed next turn. And thankfully I have a Marcus Damon in my hand that can out that Gabumon for the cost of playing a Memory Setter, which is pretty cool. So I play Leopard for 0, and then play Marcus for 5, tap him to pop the Gabumon, and set him to 4. Then he draws 1, trashes 1 from the Tamer, and then hatches Suna, evos into Fasco. Evos into Ogre for 2. And then evos into Wisemon for 4 to set me to 2, and then I go to 3 for Marcus. Leopard gets absorbed. And now I'm debating on what I want to do, because I definitely fear Anubismon just killing me. So I think it might be best to just try to kill him here, because I have enough swings. So I play Omni for 2, go to 1, pop bottles, play at everybody. I trigger Dynus first, look at my top 4, get my Scourge on, add Kintourismon and Magnamon. Leopard gives everybody blocker, and nothing to delete from the other Omnimon, so no other effects are going to proc. And Dynasmon also doesn't kill anything either. Swing with Magna, check a calling, swing with Dynus, swing with Leopard, swing with Omni, swing with Omni, and swing for game with Jesmon GX. GG's to Mel. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy seeing this kind of content. Want to come back for more. But until next time, see ya.